morning, you are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos receives a cable of greetings from His Excellency, the Minister responsible for Defence Affairs, on the occasion of Armed Forces Day. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Syed Asad bin Tariq Al Saeed shall leave tomorrow for Turkey, leading the Sultanate's delegation to the extraordinary session of the Islamic Summit in Istanbul. His Highness Syed Fahd bin Mahmud Al Saeed receives an envoy of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, to express condolences on the death of His Highness Syed Turki bin Mahmud Al Saeed. The Second World Conference of the International Tourism Organization and UNESCO on Tourism and Culture is inaugurated in Muscat. And the Sultanate is at the second position at the Arab level for the second consecutive year in Arab food security. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya on his country's independence anniversary. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, has received a cable of greetings from His Excellency Syed Badr bin Saud bin Harab Al Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defence Affairs, on the occasion of Armed Forces Day. In the cable, he said that the 11th of December is truly a shining mark in the history of the Sultan's armed forces, and that peace was spread all over Oman to preserve a dignified life and enlightened, bright future for its citizens. He added that in an atmosphere of happiness, progress, glory, pride, construction achievements and future aspirations, the Sultan's armed forces are celebrating this glorious day, recording glories and sincere steps. He said he is honoured, along with the victorious armed forces and all affiliates of the ministry, to forward greetings and best wishes on this dear occasion, requesting the Almighty to bestow on His Majesty health and happiness. He added the country became peaceful and prevailed with harmony during His Majesty's reign. The armed forces celebrate this glorious day as inspired by His Majesty with sacrifice and sincerity under the leadership and thought for brighter future and prosperous living on the peaceful homeland. Along the years of the Blessed Renaissance, human resources of the Sultan's armed forces attained care and attention which made them in line with cultural and knowledge development at the scientific and military level. They became a national wealth active with responsibility in all sides. He further said that today the armed forces, with trained and qualified manpower potentials, became civilized and balanced interactive forces with other government institutions through bridges of cooperation and integrity, with principles of comprehensive development, looked forward towards better future, giving at the same time pivotal attention for raising up fighting capabilities and completing the necessary arming system in line with the requirements of the stage, conforming with renewed challenges to be always a deterrent force protecting the homeland and its achievements. The cable added that the armed forces will remain abiding by its developing role in the society, inspired by wise directives, happy with His Majesty's praise for its role in performing the sacred duty of preserving the homeland and its achievements, renewing loyalty and obedience to His Majesty's wise leadership. His Excellency, the Minister responsible for Defence Affairs, concluded by praying to the Almighty to preserve His Majesty as a leader for Oman, endow His Majesty with long life and good health. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Syed Asad bin Tariq Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for International Relations and Cooperation and Special Representative of His Majesty the Sultan, shall leave the country tomorrow, heading to Turkey to lead the Sultanate's delegation at the extraordinary Islamic Summit due to be held on Wednesday in the Turkish city of Istanbul. His Highness Syed Asad will be accompanied by an official delegation comprising His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Sheikh Abdul Malik bin Abdullah Al Khalili, Minister of Justice, His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Saeed Al Karbani, Minister of Social Development. His Excellency Ambassador Dr. Mohammed bin Awad Al Hassan, Charge d'Affaires of the Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for Diplomatic Affairs. His Excellency Ambassador Dr. Ahmed bin Halal Abu Saidi, the Sultanate's ambassador accredited to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and permanent delegate to the Islamic Conference Organization. His Excellency Ambassador Qasim bin Mohammed Al Salha, the Sultanate's ambassador accredited to Turkey. His Excellency Ambassador Mohammed bin Nasser Al Wahabi, head of the GCC department at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. His Excellency Khalifa bin Hamad Al Badi and His Excellency Saif bin Ahmed Al Sawafi, advisors at the Office of His Highness, the Deputy Prime Minister for International Relations and Cooperation. His Highness Syed Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, received at his office His Royal Highness Prince Khaled Al Faisal, advisor of the custodian of the two holy mosques, Amir of Mecca, envoy of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the accompanying delegation who arrived in the country to express condolences in the death of His Highness Syed Turki bin Mahmoud Al Saeed. The advisor of the custodian of the two holy mosques, Amir of Mecca, conveyed the sincere condolences by King Salman bin Abdulaziz to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, coupled with prayer to Allah the Almighty to have mercy upon the deceased and to grant his family patience and solace. From his side, His Highness Syed Fahad expressed his utmost thanks and appreciation to the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz, and the advisor of the custodian of the two holy mosques, Amir of Mecca, for their sincere condolences, praying to the Almighty to prevent any evil to their families and the brotherly Saudi nation. The mourning was attended by a number of Their Highnesses, members of the royal family and Their Excellencies, and senior officials. Upon departure, the Saudi delegation was seen off by His Highness Syed Shihab bin Tariq Al Saeed, His Highness Syed Faisal bin Turki Al Saeed, His Highness Syed Kamal bin Fahad Al Saeed, His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, His Highness Syed Saud bin Hilal Al Busaidi, Minister of the State and Governor of Muscat, His Excellency Eid bin Mohammed Al Thaqafi, Ambassador of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and members of the embassy staff. His Highness Syed Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, presided today at Oman Convention and Exhibition Centre over the opening of the Second World Conference on Tourism and Culture. Our reporter Salah bin Khalfan Al Rahbi has more details in the following report.
The Ministry of Tourism and the Ministry of Heritage and Culture, in collaboration with the World Tourism Organization and the UNESCO, hosted the Second World Conference on Tourism and Culture in Muscat. This conference brought together ministers of tourism and culture, as well as private sector stakeholders and experts from both inside and outside the Sultanate, with the objective of building and strengthening partnerships between the tourism and culture sectors.
Oman is a beautiful country, a beautiful people, and Oman is a very much a heavyweight country when it comes to culture and heritage. And this conference, the alignment of tourism and culture, a very natural alignment happening in Oman, makes it even more natural. And we hope that we have many discussions and meet many people that will go forward in making this a reality in life. Today, culture and tourism are inseparable.
The United Nations has declared 2017 as the International Year of Sustainable Tourism for Development, thereby offering a unique opportunity to explore and highlight tourism's potential to help transform the world into a place of prosperity and well-being for all.
The Sultanate has so much rich cultural and natural heritage. The natural link between the two is the resulting culture of the people. A people and a place is a combination of the one thing. A place is about people interacting with what they have around them. They have done that tremendously in Oman, and it's a story that needs to be shared and told to the whole world.
Your Highness,
Over a period of 2 days, the conference addresses a wide range of topics, including governance models, tourism development and protection of cultural heritage, culture and tourism in urban development and creativity, and exploring cultural landscape in tourism as a tool for sustainable development in destinations worldwide.
Culture is such an important dimension of all forms of tourism, and something that is key as well to the sustainability of travel and tourism. And I think the challenges are really helping to promote understanding, fighting prejudice, and able to create cultural sites as well to maintain them so that they increase interest in different tourisms.
By hosting this conference, the Sultanate seeks to promote Oman's tourism infrastructure and to work towards achieving the goals of its tourism strategy, which is represented by both cultural tourism as well as the incentive tourism and conferences sectors, which are the two main pillars of the strategy. Aligning tourism with culture will certainly enhance the dynamic relation between these two sectors and strengthen their prominent roles in achieving sustainable development. For the Sultanate of Oman Television English News, Saleh Mukhalfan al-Rahbi, Muscat.
His Highness Said Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Sayed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, praised the Omani media means, mentioning that the efforts of those working in the media are appreciated. He explained that the Omani media is reasonable and deals with the events in a way that does not affect others but helps promoting external relations. On the sideline of the second World Conference on Tourism and Culture, the Movenpick Hotel Management Agreement is signed at a total cost of 60 million Omani riyals. The Movenpick Muscat Hotel is an integrated multi-use project comprising a 4-star hotel, contemporary offices, apartments and retail stores. This project is located in the most dynamic metropolitan area in Muscat. The Sultanate celebrates the glorious Armed Forces Day, which falls on December the 11th of each year. The Sultan's armed forces have accomplished many achievements in various organisational, training and armament aspects, thanks to the attention and care of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. The Sultan's Armed Forces Corps and the Royal Guard of Oman will organise a number of celebrations in different brigades, units and bases under the auspices of a number of ministers and advisors in celebration of December the 11th, the Armed Forces Day, in appreciation for the pioneering role it plays in defending the precious homeland and defending the achievements of the Omani comprehensive Renaissance. In the Governorate of Muscat, a ceremony was held to mark Armed Forces Day and Retirees Day by the Royal Army of Oman. The armed forces are taking wide strides towards construction and development in line with the requirements of each stage, performing their sacred national duty of protecting the soil of the homeland and preserving its gains and achievements effectively. Raising up fighting capabilities and providing an integrated necessary arming system in accordance with current stage requirements were the focus of the armed forces development until it became a deterrent force, preserving the homeland and its achievements, as well as Omani values and human resources, with the aim of all plans for whom the achievements of the Renaissance will be transcended with dedication and sincerity for the homeland and the Sultan. A ceremony was held in the Governorate of Dhofar to mark Armed Forces Day by each of the 11th Infantry Brigade and Farak forces of the Royal Army of Oman. The ceremony included a military show besides military skills and traditional arts, in addition to various events which highlighted the progress of the affiliates of the Royal Army of Oman. The chief guest stated that he wishes success and welfare for the Sultanate under the wise leadership of His Majesty the Sultan and further progress for Armed Forces Day in the future. During the ceremony, medals of long service and good conduct were pinned on a number of officers, non-commissioned officers and personnel of the 11th Infantry Brigade and Iraqi forces in recognition of their sincere efforts and dedication in performance of their sacred national duty. The chief guest and attendees toured the permanent exhibition held to celebrate the occasion for the different weapons introduced in the service with a briefing. To mark the 11th of December, the Sultan's Armed Forces Day, a ceremony was held by the Royal Army of Oman in the Governorate of Muscat. At the beginning of the ceremony, the military salute was performed. Then a military parade was staged by marching in slow motion, accompanied with the RAO musical band. After that, some poetic sessions were presented to stress the significance of this event for the Sultan's Armed Forces. Finally, the free-fall jump team also presented a number of acts in the sky at the ceremony field. The Sultanate is ranked 18th globally in the level of food security. That was affirmed by His Excellency Dr. Fuad bin Jafar al-Sajwani, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth, at the opening of the Regional Symposium on Sustainable Food Systems for Healthy Diets and Improved Nutrition in Asia and North Africa. The two-day seminar, which was held in Muscat, reviewed a number of pillars related to food security and aimed at strengthening sustainable food systems through improving general food policies, starting from the production until the consumption. A number of specialists from various countries took part in the event, which resulted in a number of recommendations to uplift the level of food security and nutrition. The selection of the Sultanate to host this event reflects the Sultanate's pioneering role in supporting the food security sector, as the Sultanate is ranked second Arab-wise in this field. Within the framework of the Sultanate and the United Kingdom's keenness to improve bilateral relations, His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed Al Nomani, Minister of Royal Office, received in his office today General Sir Nicholas Patrick Carter, Chief of General Staff at the British Army. During the meeting, they exchanged cordial talks and reviewed the good relations binding the two countries in various fields and means of improving them. The two sides also discussed a number of issues of mutual concern. Reviewing aspects of military cooperation between the Sultanate and the United Kingdom topped the discussions at the meeting between His Excellency Syed Badr bin Saud Abu Saidi, Minister responsible for Defence Affairs, and General Sir Nicholas Patrick Carter, Chief of General Staff at the British Army. During the meeting, they discussed the preparations for the Al-Saif Al-Saraya quick sword military exercise, which will be held next year in the Sultanate between the Sultan's Armed Forces and the British Armed Forces. Activities of the 6th International Conference, Oman's Relations with the Indian Ocean and Gulf Countries, kicked off in the Kuwaiti capital today, which is organised by National Archives and Records Authority. The conference will comprise an exhibition for documentaries which narrates the Sultanate's historical and civilizational role and relations with the Indian Ocean and Gulf countries. The inauguration ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Ali Jawhar Al-Sabah, Deputy Minister of the Emiri Diwan Affairs in the State of Kuwait. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Middle East College celebrates the graduation of students in 20 academic programs. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. A Syrian government delegation met Staffan de Mistura, the UN Special Envoy for Syria, in Geneva today. The meeting is the latest push to find a political settlement to the nearly 7-year civil war in Syria. After a few days' absence, the government delegation, headed by Syrian ambassador to the UN, Bashar Jafari, returned to Geneva yesterday for the resumption of talks. Syrian opposition delegates are also in Geneva for the UN-mediated talks. The Syrian civil war has left over 400,000 dead, driven at least 11 million people from their homes, and turned into a proxy war for regional and world powers. Declaring a victory in Syria, Russian President Vladimir Putin today visited a Russian military airbase in the country and announced a partial pullout of Russian forces from the Mideast nation. Putin's visit marks his first trip to Syria, drawing a symbolic line under the campaign that has shored up President Bashar Assad's government. It is also the first visit by a foreign head of state to war-ravaged Syria since its bloodletting started nearly 7 years ago. Putin's brief stop at the Hmeimim air base in Syria's coastal province of Latakia, while en route to Egypt, comes days after the Russian president declared his bid to run for re-election in the 18th of March vote, helping encourage the feelings of pride about Russia's revived global clout and prestige. Russian President Vladimir Putin, marking his second visit to Egypt in as many years, held talks today with his Egyptian counterpart on their country's rapidly expanding ties. After taking office, El-Sisi has brought billions of dollars worth of Russian weapons, including fighter jets and assault helicopters. The two countries are also in the late stages of negotiations over the construction by a Russian company of Egypt's first nuclear energy reactor. Also, Russia last month approved a draft agreement with Egypt to allow Russian warplanes to use Egyptian military bases, a deal that would mark a significant leap in bilateral ties and evidence of Moscow's expanding military role in a turbulent Middle East. El-Sisi met Putin at Cairo's international airport, and the two leaders later went straight to the presidential Attahida Palace in Cairo's Heliopolis suburb, where talks got underway. An influential Iraqi cleric today urged his fighters to hand state-issued weapons back to the government following the declaration of victory against the Daesh group. Muqtada al-Sadr also called on his forces to hand some of the territory they control to other branches of Iraq's security forces. Iraq's Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi declared victory over the Daesh group on Saturday after Iraqi forces cleared the last militant group's strongholds from Iraq's western desert. Al-Sadr's fighters took up arms against the Daesh group in the summer of 2014 after the fall of Mosul and are officially part of the government-sanctioned Popular Mobilization Forces. Back to some more local news. Bank Muscat held a ceremony in its main premises in the Governorate of Muscat to mark the 35th anniversary since it started its successful march. The ceremony was presided over by His Highness Syed Shihab bin Tariq Al Sayed. It is worth mentioning that the banking sector in the Sultanate witnessed a growth in terms of customer service, development and achievements. Since its start in the 80s, Bank Muscat financed a number of individual and institution projects as the bank assets reached more than 10 billion Omani Riyals. The bank also contributed in the growth of the national economy through funding a number of projects as well as supporting various companies and institutions, in addition to providing investment opportunities in various fields by using the latest technologies. The Omanization percentage in the bank reached 49%. In terms of community service, Bank Muscat also was involved in a number of initiatives and students' projects and many others. The works of the second educational unit from the National Programme for Leadership and Competitiveness, which is implemented by the Competency Development Institute in the Diwan of the Royal Court, is inaugurated in Muscat. The 5-day programme focused in role of executive managers in leading performance and administration for the future of the field of the government sector. The second unit of the programme works on heading innovative work sessions, focusing in designing and implementing needed innovation to enable cooperation between private and public sectors, in addition to implementing group exercises to simulate reality, which focuses on strategic effect and negotiation, besides practical training to overcome failure factors for the projects related to international competitiveness. The national programme is considered first of its kind initiative directed to the public sector in the Sultanate in order to enable operational capacity in the government sector. The Sultanate, one of the leading countries which succeeded in activating electronic ratification through various governmental institutions and directorates. This was revealed in the Regional Forum for Standardization in Electronic Ratification and Digital Trust. The forum stressed the necessity of activating systems of electronic ratification in the country's institutions to ensure fast and secure services. The National Centre for E-Ratification revealed in the forum the issuing of more than 10 million certificates in the realisation of identity and e-signatures in identity cards, in addition to issuing more than 55,000 certificates for electronic signatures and the realisation of the identity in SIM cards that supported e-ratification for mobile phones. The Centre provided services for 26 government and private institutions. The Middle East College celebrated the graduation of 1,313 students in 20 academic programmes. The graduates included diploma, higher diploma, bachelor and advanced studies degrees holders in various majors, namely information technology, engineering, business management and records and archives management. The graduation ceremony included a number of activities and distribution of certificates to the graduates and excelled students. The students expressed their happiness and pride for the graduation after the hard work and efforts they exerted during the years of study, and stressed that they are ready for the next stage of their life, which is to head towards the labour market, get a job and serve their country. The German university GU-Tech celebrated the graduation of the sixth batch of students from the science colleges in various majors, including mechanical engineering, environment, computer science, city planning, architectural design and others. The graduation programme included a speech by GU-Tech President, a visual show and distribution of certificates for male and female graduates. On the day of the graduation, the students expressed their joy after the hard work and efforts they exerted during the years of study, and that they are ready to head towards the labour market. This is a Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos receives a cable of greetings from His Excellency, the Minister responsible for Defence Affairs, on the occasion of Armed Forces Day. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Said Asad bin Tariq Al Said shall leave tomorrow for Turkey, leading the Sultanate's delegation to the extraordinary session of the Islamic Summit in Istanbul. His Highness Said Fahad bin Mahmud Al Said receives an envoy of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, to express condolences on the death of His Highness Said Turki bin Mahmud Al Said. The Second World Conference of the International Tourism Organization and UNESCO on Tourism and Culture is inaugurated in Muscat. And the Sultanate is at the second position at the Arab level for the second consecutive year in Arab food security. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.